Good evening, Flosstube.
I'm Little One.
And I'm Lynette here at Homesteading on the Homefront. This is episode 58 for us. It is Wednesday, April 1st. My sister-in-law posted a horrible thing on my Facebook page this morning. I woke up and read, Governor Baker declares all Massachusetts students must repeat current school year. And I was like, what? And then I realized, oh, today's April Fool's Day. So, yeah, got my heart attack out of that one. Anyway, we are coming off an afternoon of yard work. And I said, hey, you want to film a Flosstube? And she said, sure. So here we are. I have lots of FFOs to show you because it hasn't even been 2 weeks, which I think is a record for us lately for a regular Flosstube. But I delved into my pile of shame and got some things finished, so I wanted to share those with you, and then we'll talk about what we've been stitching and all of our stitching time. So first, I want to show you this FFO. This is, what's it called? Old Nantucket from Little House Needleworks. I stitched on this during my time in Newport, and I finished it this past summer, and I showed it, and a sharp-eyed viewer or follower on Pinterest, not Pinterest, on Instagram, I forget which platform it was, but she said, hey, you forgot some leaves. And so I went back, and sure enough, I had forgotten to stitch 3 of the leaves here. So I did that, and then I popped it in the frame that I had gotten for it. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, there's no glare. So I changed the wording. I obviously made it Newport. I put the year that Newport was founded. There's a big old cat hair right here, so I have to, yeah, right there. I have to take it out and fix that. But this was an off-the-shelf frame at Michael's, and I love how it turned out. I can't wait to get it hanging on the wall.
Where's it going?
I think it's going up there.
I feel like I've asked you that before.
Okay, so that was Nantucket. Next, I showed you as a, no, did I even show this to you? Probably not. So this was a start, a finish, and an FFO. I did this one from Blackbird's Sewing Club book. And I stitched it over one, just like the model. And this is what I came up with. It's a vase. I bought these on clearance last year at Michael's. So you can put water and a flower in there. And I added it on with a magnet because this is already metal.
You could put the...
Yeah, go get a daffodil. I'll put it in here. We'll see how it looks. I just picked daffodils today. So I really think this one's cute. Originally, this was not the design I had planned for this. Originally, I was hoping to do, well, that's kind of tall.
It's one of the shorter ones. I can get a shorter one.
There, that's better. See, look how cute and springy. Anyway, originally I wanted to do Star Spangled Spectacular for this, but the proportions weren't right. And as you will see, I actually tried twice. The first time, I stitched the whole design, and it wasn't right, so I ended up finishing it on this piece right here that we got at the Christmas tree shop last year on clearance. We actually had gotten a red one and a blue one, so if it looks familiar, it's because Little One stitched this and put it in our fair last year.
That got me $1.
So that's ready for summer. And then the second time I stitched it, I left off this and the bottom. And this is what it came up with. I showed one of these frames yesterday was it yesterday? No, the days are all running together. In the Frugal Finishes video that I did, I had a maroon one of these, and I'm thinking that probably would have looked better on that. But I had, originally it hung like this, so I had to cut the twine and then re-glue it on this side so it would hang this way. But I like how that came out. I think it's kind of sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then one more FFO. I don't even think you guys have ever seen this project because it's been in the pile of shame since 2015. Mm-hmm. So this is, again, a little house, I believe. It was a free chart for, I think it was in the newsletter of a stitching store, it was 5 years ago. But here's a frugal finishing idea that I didn't talk to you about. I was cleaning out my aunt's place and found this award for her volunteering. Didn't have the heart to throw it away. So then I said, hey, wait a minute. That would be good for finishing. And because the plaque is metal, I just had to put a magnet here. And we're good to go. And I can replace it. It's a 5x7 size, so pretty standard. And so I'll be able to hang other things on here too. So, that's it for FFOs. This week, or this 2 weeks. Hopefully there'll be more next time. There's still a lot in the pile. All right, let's talk about whips.
Whips. So, one of my whips is Salute to Abigail.
Take your strings away.
By Blackbird Designs.
Yep.
A bunch of this is new. I've worked on the border, this motif. I've added flowers and the birds and that motif up there. So I'm getting places with it. It's just taking a while.
Somebody's getting a lot of stitching time in.
Yes.
She's doing good.
And then the second whip is a surprise. I started it because I was just really excited to start it, so I did. It's ready. Frederick the Literate. It's a Dimensions kit. And I'm not super far, but I've got part of a book, part of the cat. Stitched black there, you probably can't see it. And then I've got the shelf. Had a scare this afternoon though, because I thought I was going to have to rip out all of this because it was 3 stitches off. So I just adjusted the shelf instead. But
my turn. Okay, so I think in my last video I talked to you about this one. My plan is to stitch all the dark areas so I can just fill in at Frugal Yankee. And so I'm not going to take it out of the thing, but I've gotten all the top done and I'm come down to here. Now there's going to be 3 lines of text here. In the original there's only 2. And I did that because this is going to fit perfectly into an 8x10 frame. So in the extra line here I'm just going to write Proverbs 31:31. And nobody will be any wiser. So, what I've done here is basically I've done the first half of the stitches so that the retreat I can just go back and complete them and then I can fill in where I need to. And the same thing with the lettering. I've done half of the letters and I can just go back and finish crossing my X's and not make any mistakes while I'm chitter-chattering. And then, I think I'm going to be doing a virtual stitchy time tomorrow. And so I decided I wanted to do something similar so that I could stitch and not have to spend time counting and looking back at my phone or the computer or whatever I'm using for the Zoom. So I broke down and got a digital subscription to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I've subscribed several times. I think the last time I think my subscription was up and we were in the middle of a move and life was crazy, and so I just let it go because I knew I didn't have time to stitch anything. So I really wanted to stitch the Sub Rosa bird that everyone is stitching from the new issue. And I was like, well, she'll probably release it eventually. Maybe I'll just stitch it then. And then I realized that the digital subscription is $24, and I would probably pay at least $8 for the pattern of the bird. So I said, I am just going to subscribe, and I'm going to get it instantaneously, and I will have more issues to look forward to. So that's what went down. And so yesterday I started stitching it, and I didn't print out a picture of the finished chart, so I can't show that to you. But I can show you what I've done so far. So tomorrow on my call, I am going to fill in the basket because this is just all brown that needs to be filled in, and I can fill in the eggs. And actually tonight I'm hoping to outline the bird so that I can fill the bird in as well. And then I just have to add the basket handle and it'll be done. So this has been a really quick little stitch that I've enjoyed. And the best part is, if you saw my frugal finishing video, this I pulled out of the box and it is going to fit the bird perfectly. So I naturally want to get this done so that I can hang this up. I have not done a lot of spring stitches in the past. I tend to go from winter to patriotic just because I would take the winter stuff down in March, and in May it's Memorial Day, right? So you may as well put the patriotic stuff up. And chickens and bees. I would do chickens and bees for spring too. But so anyway, what I ended up doing with the colors on this is, thankfully I'm a procrastinator and I hadn't yet unpacked the project bag that I had used when I stitched Heart's Rest. And so I'm using the exact same colors that I used for that. And I'm even using, I used a napkin for that one, if you remember. I had bought a ton, like probably a dozen of these napkins. They're linen at an antique store. I think I got a set of 6 and then another set of 6 that is a different color. They are, you can see up here, I did my test stitching. It's 14 stitches in one direction and 13 in the other. And so this is going to be a little wider than had I done it on an even weave or a, normal linen. But that's okay because it doesn't matter because it's going on here. So anyway, that's another frugal finishing tip for, or maybe not finishing, but a frugal tip. Go to your antique stores, look for the linen napkins. They may not be an even weave, but they're going to be pretty close. And so I will use these napkins to stitch charts where it doesn't really matter what the finish size turns out to be. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing that one. Okay, is that it?
Spent so much time stitching, I feel like I should have more to show.
No kidding, we have been stitching a lot.
Yeah.
I would like to announce, if you had not seen it, I did announce late last week that there will be a cross-stitch retreat in November in Troy, New Hampshire at East Hill Farm. And so I encourage you to go watch that video if you are at all interested in learning more about it. We need a minimum of 60 people. I am pretty sure that we are well over the 20 mark already. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time. I think it's going to be I think we are all needing something to look forward to, and I think it's going to be good to get back together again once the world, hopefully by November, the world will be back to normal.
Yeah.
Plans. What are your plans?
Stitch. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
And are you going to start anything, or is 2 projects good?
I think 2's good. I have 3 colors for one of them and a bajillion for the other, so I think I've got good
mix.
Yeah.
You're moving along on Abigail. She'll be done before you know it.
That was when I was stitching all day on it. Now I'm focusing on this one. Maybe I'll alternate days.
Good. I don't know how her eyes do it. She stitches in hardly any light on that black fabric, and I don't know how she does it. My plans. It's April, and Easter is 11 days. Is that right? Is Easter the 12th?
I don't know.
I think Easter is the 12th, and I will be starting Savior's Praise with several other stitchers. We encourage you to join us. This is a wonderful time to be stitching that sampler. I changed my mind the other day on what linen I wanted to use, so I put an order in, and hopefully will be arriving soon. Oh, I forgot to get my haul to show it. I'll just tell you what I got. I ordered from the World in Stitches. Consider the Lilies. I pre-ordered that at Market, thinking I was going to pick it up when Frugal Yankee happened, but that got postponed. So I got Consider the Lilies, and I also got Blackbird Designs We Live in Hope, which I was thinking about starting because, Corona, it's a good time to do it. But I think with Savior's Praise, that's gonna be enough. So Savior's Praise will be my new start for this month, and then of course I will finish the 2 whips. Well, I will not finish. I will finish the bird whip, and then the Proverbs 31 piece I'm gonna outline, do my half stitches, and then it's just going to be put away. And either I will continue to work on that at Frugal Yankee if we're allowed to have it, or it'll wait until November for the retreat at East Hill.
I hope we have it, because that's the weekend after we're supposed to go back to school.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll use it if we continue doing virtual stitches. Because that's the same premise. Like, it's brainless, so I could do that and chat on Zoom at the same time. And then I need to get a plan together for my Jessie Robertson. She's kind of been on hold because I need to figure out what I'm doing with initials. So I need to get a plan together with her so I can get back to stitching her. So, while I'm thinking about it, this Willing Hands. So I realized, and I did the math, so I know that this is true. This is gonna fit perfectly on the cigar box that I showed in my frugal finishing video. So I am just saying that if you too have bins of things in your basement reserved for finishing, I think you should show them to us and do a video. And you might realize that some of your pieces that you might have forgotten about will fit perfectly into current stitches that you want to do. So I don't know when this one's going to get done. It's not in the plans anytime soon, but it will get put on the cigar box. 99% sure.
You know what I have that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with?
What?
That jewelry box we bought a while back.
Oh, I find something to do with that too. Yeah. My other thought, last night when I was working on Proverbs 31, I was thinking it would be nice to have like a Proverbs 31 wall, because I've done several pieces that quote Proverbs 31, and I thought it would be interesting to like hang them in the right order of verses. So anyway, just something I came up with the other night that I kind of like that idea. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's it. We're at 20 minutes, short and sweet. Life updates. We've been starting seeds. We've been working in the garden. We're at home.
Teaching myself math.
Yeah. Because nobody here can help you with math. Yeah, the school situation here is that their teachers are checking in with them, that they have office hours, they all have Google Classrooms and Zoom meetings, but the Commissioner of Massachusetts, it is my understanding, has said that nothing that they do can be graded or count towards their grades. So it's all optional basically, and it's mostly review. So yeah, my sister-in-law just said my niece is spending 5 hours at the computer doing school stuff for New Hampshire, and that is not the case here. They're both keeping current on math because I know what they're going to need to prepare them for next year. And other than that, they're good. Like, they're ready for next year without learning anything else. So I'm not stressing about it. Today you had a nice horticulture lesson.
Yeah, I like this school better.
She was pruning forsythia for me while eldest had a PE class, which entailed loading compost into the wheelbarrow and bringing it down to the garden. So that's how we're doing school here. Anyway, all right, Flosstube, we will let you go. Wish you the best, wish you well, hope everyone is staying sane and healthy, and hopefully we'll be back in another couple weeks. I want to try to do some regular filming because I'm appreciating everyone who's putting content out because I have lots of time to watch. So hopefully you'll see us before too much longer. If you're doing a Zoom virtual meetup and you want somebody else, let me know. I'm in. We'll talk to you later, Flosstube. Wishing you fair winds and following seas.